back to my channel. My name is Danielle. This is Comfortable Spaces, and I love to talk about affordable living and intentional homemaking. And today on the channel, we are actually in Annapolis. My husband and I are in Annapolis, Maryland on like a little mini baby moon, just enjoying some time together before baby number 2 shows up. And we are about to head out to do some thrifting and antiquing across Annapolis, and I thought I could take you guys with me so we could see what there is fun finds to have in Annapolis. So let's head on out. So we are now back from Annapolis, and I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. There were some good finds that I got, and there were some things that I did not like about what they had to offer in Annapolis. And I'm so disappointed to say that because I really had high expectations for this little kind of thrifting and antiquing outing that we had, and I found that the antiques were insanely overpriced, which kind of makes sense because if you've ever been to Annapolis, Maryland, it is a very wealthy neighborhood and town. So I guess they're just very used to kind of hiking the prices up there. I saw a crock there that was, I want to say maybe 3 quarts. And I think they were asking something like $300 for it. And I have the same exact crock here that I have a plant in over by our front door, and I think we paid $35 for it. So I was very stunned by the prices there. But I did get a couple of good deals. We hit up a few thrift shops, but again, there was either really terrible stock or the prices just weren't really matching with what we were looking for. So we didn't get a ton of stuff, but we did get a few items. So I'm gonna go over that with you guys now. Now I'm gonna say this as well. I have 2 things in this haul that are not thrifted items. They're just items that we purchased while we were in Annapolis, but I really love them a lot, so that is why I put them in this little haul. So let's get started. The first thing that we found was this beautiful bowl. It's got this lovely dark blue glazing on the inside. We got this at the very first antique shop that we went to, the one that was insanely expensive, and it was probably the cheapest thing there. We paid $14 for this bowl, and I just really love it because I love the older patina of the bowl itself. I think it's very beautiful, but I really love the handle and the pitcher. We do not have a larger mixing bowl like this. This is actually, it was labeled a batter bowl, like cake batter. We don't have something like this with the handle and the spout, so I thought this would be so perfect for like a small batch of pancakes or anything that I'm whipping up, maybe muffins or something, where you can then pour everything into the tins instead of constantly needing a scoop to scoop everything out. So I really love that. I thought it was beautiful. And then the next thing I got, again, this is not a thrifted find. There was a stunningly beautiful pottery store while we were there. And if you've seen some of my other thrift hauls, you would know that I cannot say no to a good piece of pottery, especially if it's decently priced. Now this was decently priced in my opinion. I do a lot of shopping at like different craft fairs and whatnot, and sometimes pottery can be insanely expensive, like $75, $85, upwards to $100. This was 34 bucks, and I thought it was so beautiful. It's got this kind of ombre-esque blue tone to it. As I've said in many of my videos, I love beachy tones. I think they're beautiful. And it is an olive oil jar. And we have been actually on the hunt for something like this, not specifically pottery, but just like an olive oil jar for probably since the springtime. So like maybe 6 months. And I had purchased one in the spring and it leaked on the bottom. It must have been cracked or something. And it leaked on the bottom all over my counter. And luckily, I got it from Home Goods. They let me return it, but I've not found something that I've liked ever since. And what I loved about this is it has these little dimples you can kind of see on the sides, which gives it the perfect like hold for when you're pouring on your pan. And I love this because we use cast iron a decent amount, so this will allow me to season my cast iron skillet and put oil on it to take care of it, as well as just use olive oil in different dishes that we like. So I loved this. I thought it was beautiful and I couldn't pass it up. The next thing that I purchased that was, again, not from a thrift store, it was from this beautiful home decor store. So it wasn't really a home decor store, although I guess you could call it that. It was more of a baking and entertaining store, so it had a lot of tablecloths, gorgeous tablecloths, a lot of really expensive dishware and cookware and whatnot. And in the back, we found this adorable cookie cutter section. And I found these 3 little mini cookie cutters. So this one is a pumpkin. This one's a pumpkin here. I don't even know if you can see that very well. There we go, that's a little better. Little pumpkin shape. And then I got this one is a little leaf shape cookie cutter and a little acorn cutter. And I specifically picked these up because I plan on making at least 1 or 2 pies for Thanksgiving, and I just love the idea of cutting out little dough shapes and putting them on the top of the pie where the lattice is. I think it just adds a little bit of really sweet dimension to the pie. But when I was talking to the lady when I was checking out, she said that these are great to do fall charcuterie boards. So you just get your like block of cheese and cut out these little mini shapes to them, and then you have this really adorable fall charcuterie board. And I have a couple of fall gatherings coming up, so I just thought that was such a great idea, so I'm definitely going to be using those. And then back to the more thrifting and antiquing shop of the whole thing. We stopped at a bookstore and another antique store, and I ended up picking up 4 different books. 3 of them are antiques, 1 of them is not. It's interesting, this one sort of like thrifty bookstore we went to, it had a combination of antique books, thrifted books, and new books. So it was kind of like Russian roulette on what one you were going to find in the title that you were looking for. So I got 1 new book, the other 3 are antiques. But this one, first one that I got, is called Poems Here at Home. I thought this was such a sweet book. I loved the detail. The copyright on this, I believe, is 1899. Yes, it is. Oh, I'm sorry, 1893. So it's copyrighted in 1893, and it is just a stunning book. And the poetry is so sweet. It's got all these like little simple little poems. I thought this would be a great book to read to the boys to help develop language and whatnot. And there's this sweet little one called A Boy's Mother in it, and I just love it. I'll just read this like one little blurb, but it says, my mother, she's so good to me. If I was good as I could be, I couldn't be as good, no sir. Can't any boy be as good as her? And I just thought it was so incredibly adorable. There were so many poems in here that I thought were so sweet. So I picked this up. I'm probably going to put it, you can kind of see, I have like a couple of books here with a pumpkin on it. I'm probably going to keep those there for the holiday season and just put more of a Christmas piece of decor on there, but I thought this would be great to add to that. I love having books around the dining room and whatnot, so I can read to Fitz while we are having lunch together or something like that. Or after I put him down for a nap, I can just read like what's on the table. I really enjoy to do that. So I got this. I thought it was beautiful. This is the only book that I got that was new, but it was only $7. Oh, what did I say? I didn't say. This one was $13. This one was only $7, and I've never actually read Persuasion. I've always wanted to read it, so I got this Jane Austen book. I have several of her books. I love to read her. She's just a beautiful romantic. I know she was considered to be like really edgy for her time period, but now I just find her to be so romantic and sweet. So I love reading her stuff. I'm excited to read this in the winter months. And kind of going along with that, I got Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. I don't even know if you can see that. Yeah. It's like very shiny over here. But I was very excited to find this kind of more vintage copy of Wuthering Heights. Again, something that I've not actually read yet, but have always wanted to. So I know the whole concept of the story. I've heard it many times before. I've seen a couple of different people do book clubs sort of things on here. And interestingly enough, it doesn't have a copyright date in this book in particular, but you can just tell from the printing paper and the book itself that it is a bit older. So I just really loved it, and I'm excited to again read this in the winter time when it's kind of colder and it's like not as easy to go outside. And then the last thing I picked up book-wise was Water Baby Circus. I actually bought this for our soon-to-be-born son, not our firstborn, because our firstborn does have a nice little collection of antique books, and I wanted to start a new collection for our second son, but I saw this and I was so incredibly excited. I actually remember watching this when I was a little girl on the different Disney shorts on the Disney Channel like a gazillion years ago. But Water Baby Circus is one of Walt Disney's original cartoon drawings that he did. And in this particular book, there are multiple stories in here. So there is the story of Snow White. There's also the Hungry Bears, Beaver and his brothers, and then Water Baby Circus. And it has all of Walt's like original drawings that he did when he was still alive. And this particular book in general was copyrighted in 1939. So it's literally one of his original books that he put out when he was like really getting into all of his different cartoons. And this was before Disney World ever came out, so I was really excited to find this. I did find this at a different antique store, and I thought it would be just such a sweet gift for our second son, so grab that. Oh, and I did get a little book for Fitz. I got him My Little Golden Books Balto, but it is currently up in his room because we read it for bedtime last night, and he is napping, so I did not want to wake him up to grab that book. And then the last place we went to is actually a clothing thrift shop. And I only found one thing, and this is probably why I only found one thing, because I struggle buying clothes that aren't going to be like longevity type clothing when I am pregnant. So I don't like to buy a lot of maternity things. I'll just kind of grab a few things that are maybe a size up that I can wear throughout my pregnancy, and then like maybe throw a belt on or just wear oversized later on. So I tend to not buy a ton of clothes when I'm pregnant because I don't want to have a ton of maternity clothes that I then maybe can't use in the future. Like I'm just very picky about that kind of stuff. But I did find this sweater, and I thought this was so lovely. It's just a beautiful sort of mock turtleneck style, really sweet cozy sweater. I loved how big the sleeves are, and then they come to this sweet little pinch right here. That's not the way to describe it, but you understand. It's got a very feminine, flattering kind of arm to it. It is a little short, like it's a little croppy. So I'm gonna be honest, when I tried this on, my belly definitely hung out the bottom of it. So I said to my husband, if I'm gonna wear it this winter, I will definitely be putting a tank top under it, but it'll be really sweet in all of the years to come when I'm not so pregnant. But what I loved about this shirt was it feels like the softest, coziest, like I liked it when I saw it in the store, and then I put it on and I was like, I'm gonna live in this sweater in the winter time. It's just so soft and cozy and lovely. So I couldn't pass it up. So I got that for me. And then just really quick, because I don't know if you're gonna be as interested in this stuff, but my husband had a blast in this thrift shop that we went to. It was more like a consignment shop, and he got a bunch of stuff for work. So he got this nice little button-up work shirt. The brand is Penguin, and I've never heard of that brand, but he really liked the design and the style of it. It's just kind of like this gingham, almost checkered style shirt. And then he got this Land's End, just nice blue shirt. He had tried on a bunch of shirts. They had a huge stock of LL Bean. They had a huge stock of LL Bean there. Like my husband kept saying, it looked like an LL Bean factory went out of business and just dumped all of their consignment clothes there. But they just did not fit him as well as these shirts did. So he just got those two shirts. And then we found these shirts, these pants from American Eagle. They're just a really nice pair of khaki pants. They still have the tags on them. They've never been worn. And the original tag on this pants says that they were $50, and I think we got them for $9. So definitely a huge steal for never been worn khaki pants that he will get a lot of use out of for work. And then we just got these really nice pair of jeans for him from the Gap. So they're a perfect darker wash. They're not like dark wash, but darker wash denim. And he will get a lot of use out of those too, because his jeans are starting to look really ratty. I bought him a pair of jeans in one of my other thrift haul videos, and if you've not seen that one, I will link it below. But yes, he will get plenty of use out of those things. So that is all we ended up picking up in Annapolis. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing some of the sights of Annapolis. It was really a beautiful place to go. I loved staying there. I loved, the food was fantastic. There were so many great places to eat there. So if you're ever in the Annapolis, Maryland area, I would definitely say go check it out. It is a beautiful place to just kind of walk around and take in the sights. And we stayed right on the water, so there were all these beautiful boats and all of this loveliness. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you are brand new around here, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a thumbs up. And I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.